night conservative talk show in America, Sackheads Radio. And listen, there are no people better on the air to give you the best in conservative talk than Sackhead Sean and Sackhead Clint. And we're working on the immigration papers for a certain other guy who happens to work there too. For those who are tuning in around the world to the best in late night conservative talk, Sackheads Radio.
Talk dude. Talk dude.
Radio.
Talk dude. Talk dude.
Radio.
The best late night conservative talk show in America. In America.
And in this web was a large, I'm pretty sure it was the biggest spider I've ever seen.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sackheads Radio Show live on the SHR Media Network. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's the first show of the new year, January 3rd, 2018. We appreciate you guys being with us through the new year. We hope you had a great New Year's celebration. Our condolences to everybody on the East Coast. Looks a little chilly there, and it's going to be snowy as a sumbitch.
So hot, I'm taking my jacket off right now.
I'm pretty kind of roasting here, too. It is pretty warm.
Yeah.
Take that jacket off, just so you know.
Yeah, and just for the record, you guys won't ever be killed by family relatives on the East Coast. So I'm just saying that, I'm going to be nice and not say anything. That's all.
Is that sweat on your brow, Sean?
Well, it is a little roasty in here.
Yeah, it's you guys suck. The East Coast is getting snowmageddon right now, or whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a whole lot of crazy, not just with the snow, but then with the cold. There's supposed to be a polar vortex that's going to roll in next to it.
Hey, it's supposed to be a what?
What did they call
Polar
it? The
vortex.
Snow blowout or something like that?
At this point, who knows?
Global warming's a bitch.
It is.
It is.
This global warming.
I hate it when it's warm. Oh, that's right. It means I hate summer.
This global warming is why are people against seasons changing? Right? If you're against global warming, are you against spring? Who's against spring?
Who isn't?
You know who's against spring? Communists.
And why are
And
communists?
here's why.
Thank you.
Because they have what killed the Germans in World War II. I mean, besides like American bullets.
Yeah, well.
Like what slowed
let's
them
see,
down
the
in
Russian
Russia?
winter.
Yes, the Russian winter.
The Lusky winter.
Yeah, communists love the winter. So global warming, it would make sense to me that they hate spring and summer.
You know what's really
And they're
amazing?
not
That's
keen on
logic.
fall either. That fall.
They're not
so
keen
much.
on fall. No, this is logic, folks. The arguments here they're foolproof. We're a bunch of fools, and here's the proof.
I see what he did there.
But yeah, no, everyone's on the East Coast. Listen, it's been cold as hell back east. It hasn't been over 20 degrees in Boston, I think, in 9 days, 10 days. And it's getting, they're about to get some snow all the way down to Florida. They had ice and snow in Florida all the way up the eastern seaboard. I know Virginia, they're going to get some blizzard from what I've heard. And all the way up through Massachusetts. They call it a something snow bomb or whatever they want to call it, but it has to do. It's essentially like a winter hurricane. The National Oceanographers, blah blah blah, NOAA,
Right?
is it more affectionately known as?
That
Didn't he
reminds
build
me
an
of that-
ark?
That Bill Cosby bit. If you ever watched or listened,
NOAA.
Noah.
What? That was a great bit, by the way. But they're
The Sackheads Radio Show and SHR Media does not endorse Bill Cosby or any of his comedy
come
whatsoever
on.
because he's a sexist pig.
Ooh, somebody got sensitive about that. Wasn't that weird? I think you got a little sensitive. That's all right. That's all right. But yeah, they're flying the hurricane hunters through the storm.
They made a movie about this, right?
You're thinking of the perfect storm?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
That was
different.
actually a completely true storm that took place, I want to say, in 1992.
No. The winter one on the East Coast where the guy goes and like tries to find his kid who's holed up in a library. Everything's frozen like wolves on
Dennis
the ship.
Quaid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Day after tomorrow.
No.
No.
I don't. Why can't we just talk about it tonight? We don't have a show going then. Come on, BZ.
Jesus. That was the name of the movie.
What was?
Was it the day after
The
tomorrow?
Day After Tomorrow.
Just tell us tonight. This is ridiculous.
Right. Well, some things have to be a surprise. Okay.
Yes. So
Geostorm tanked last year.
they made
Yes.
they made a movie. It was a documentary back then made about what's happening now because of global warming.
Did you just call it a documentary?
Yeah.
Thank you. Totally factual. Totally factual.
Listen, watching it in retrospect,
It
potentially could
now
be.
it looks like a documentary.
Yes.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yes, just like everything else in Hollywood, it's a documentary with some embellishments.
Well, listen, don't we know for a fact that dogs were frozen?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Do we know for a fact this is on the eastern seaboard?
Do we not
Yes.
know for a fact
Thank
that
you.
a family missing heat was found dead in their home
Yes.
the day after tomorrow?
Yes. Or well, we
no,
don't.
they were found the other day. I
Yeah,
think.
we don't know if it. I
Like,
mean, it may happen the day after. Tomorrow,
Yeah,
too.
which then you'd be a suspect because that's weird. That
Why
you would
aren't you
know
just
that.
calling it Friday?
Yeah, I don't know.
Does
This is
that mean I'm a medium? No, actually,
no.
it means I'm
You're
a 3X.
You're
Beat you to it.
By the way, I'm a little disappointed.
Okay.
Already. Well, I'm really excited, but I'm disappointed that the year has nowhere to go but downhill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think the most awesome moment of the year, like the freaking the best thing that we could talk about is already happened, and I'm really bummed. I'm bummed. It's like the awesome moment of the year. I'm so excited to talk about it, and I'm bummed this is the first show that.
I don't know what it is, so I
It's what Donald Trump tweeted to Kim Jong Il, Little Kim. So hang on. Here's what he said.
Yeah.
Little Kim, if you remember, talked about his nuclear button.
Yeah.
This is the most awesome thing I have ever read. President Trump is my hero. Here's what he says. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un just stated that the, quote, nuclear button is on his desk at all times, end quote. Will someone from his depleted and food-starved regime please inform him that I too have a nuclear button, but it is a much bigger and more powerful one than his, and my button works.
Dude.
That's mic dropping time.
That is-
Right there,
yes.
mic dropping time.
That is perhaps the most amazing thing the president could ever put out, ever, particularly in a year, and it already happened. And I am so bummed. I am so, like...
Well, it's like
I just want to high-five him.
Where do you go from there?
But where do you go from there? How do you top that? Aside from actually pushing it, not that I want nuclear war, but...
Well, and I love all these people who are like, I can't believe he
Leftists,
said
they
that. It's
fell apart.
Yes!
it's unprofessional, and he's got derangement syndrome. I'm like, no, he's being a dick,
Yes!
and I love it. I'm not.
Yes.
I'll tell you right now. First and foremost, if anybody on this planet thinks that nuclear weapon in our country, North Korea, it may be a single button.
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know.
In this country, if you think to launch a nuke, it's a single button.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. And if you think the
It's
president
two buttons,
thinks,
and everybody knows that.
right, side by side,
You have to push them at the same time.
and if anyone thinks the president thinks it's a single button, you're an idiot too.
Yes.
He obviously was just shoving it in his face and being funny about it. And I'm not gonna lie, he fucking nailed it.
Yes, he did.
It was hysterical.
So I have a proposition.
Okay.
I'm making a formal. I move that President Donald J. Trump, based upon that statement, is made an honorary sackhead.
All in favor?
Aye. That
Two
is
hands up.
that is a sackhead-esque statement.
It is
Smartassery to the highest level.
It's something we probably have said.
And it's something I'm wondering if maybe he got this idea from us.
He might be a listener.
Listen, we're not confirming or denying this,
Right.
but the evidence is pretty clear.
It would be friggin' awesome. Hey, BZ, who do we have in chat?
We have the bloviating Zeppelin.
Wow, good.
wait, that's
Wow.
me.
I'm very impressed that guy's here.
Like that guy.
I love
We
that
have
guy.
Golf Dogs.
Yes.
We have Mike
Mike.
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 Pasqua. We
Pasqua.
have Melanie Teresa.
Miss
not,
Mel?
Not Melanie Colette. We have Melanie Teresa.
Yeah, well, it's 2018.
And, of course, we have Mary
Right.
Brockman.
Mary.
And,
Hello, Mary.
live and direct from San Francisco,
Whoa.
Harry Callahan.
Whoa.
Wow.
Inspector 7.
Wow.
Inspector. Sir, thank you
Yes,
for
thank
joining
you,
us.
sir.
It's an honor and a privilege.
So it is an honor. I'm a big fan of your work.
Very
Oh,
big fan.
big
Very,
fan.
very big fan of
Large
your work.
fan.
He actually, it's funny. He taught one of the things he definitely taught me was to notice the difference in coffee.
Yes.
That was a big one.
Yeah, that was very huge, especially when you get it from the same place.
Right.
Every day.
For the last 15 years.
For the last 15 years. Today there's sugar in my
I
coffee.
figure when I see a naked man running down the street with a knife and a hard-on, he's not collecting for the Red Cross. I have to agree. Listen, put me in the concur column
Well,
right there.
now hang on a second. You have to remember a couple things. Number one,
Oh, God.
Harry Callahan works in San Francisco. Number two, San Francisco's in the state of California. Therefore, number three, a naked man with a hard-on and a knife may in fact be collecting for the Red Cross.
Well,
that is not probable cause in that city.
Well, no, he could also be ringing a bell for the Salvation Army. You really
Yes,
don't
you
know.
really don't know.
And it depends on where the bell's hung.
Well, or maybe not so hung. We
Not
don't
so
know,
hung.
right?
I'm
Would
not-
it shock you to know that there's a store on Polk Street called Hard On Leather?
No.
No
part of that.
It's true.
Nothing at all. There's
Oh,
Like, not
yes,
even a little
as a matter of
surprised.
fact, Mary Brockman, yes, I did. I did mention golf dogs, and Mamba is here
golf.
also,
Mamba.
and one
And
viewer.
Mamba.
And today, Mamba logged on. Mamba on ice.
Oh, well, he is on ice. He's in Florida,
He's
the
in
poor
Florida.
bastard.
yeah.
And being
Did they not
cold-blooded.
get snow in Florida
They
today?
got ice and snow. Alabama, Arkansas, a lot of places got it all.
Look, so basically, I saw a map. If you've seen the satellite overlay, the North Pole and Antarctica is actually connected down through Canada. I think the entire Atlantic is frozen, so Great Britain and the United States are now connected. And
you can
all the
walk
way
there. It's a long.
It's a long walk, and all the way down to and including Florida. Some of this may be because of the Bermuda Triangle's there and weird shit happens, but other than that,
Wait a minute. What about all the immigrants from Germany? Are they going to go west now?
Yeah.
We need to chunk some ice very soon. Chunk some ice.
Oh,
is
well,
that a racial
are you
thing?
talking about the land bridge?
No. Well, the ice.
Is
the
this a
ice,
racial thing?
the
Wait, now hang on a
ice.
second. Why do Germans have to chunk ice? Like I don't listen. I don't appreciate those references. BZ.
I don't
Yeah.
understand
Wait a
the
minute,
reference.
is he referencing BBWs? Is he trying to
are
go
we back
there
there?
again? I think that's what he was trying to say.
Jeez.
I'm not trying
He's
to say
talking
anything.
about chunkers.
Never.
I'm trying.
Did you
Listen.
remember what he said during Obama's regime? He said, "Why is Obama asking for cash for chunkers?"
I do remember that.
Yes. Do you remember that?
I didn't get that part.
Now you do.
Obama could have all that he wanted, but no, he had to start a program, Cash for Chunkers.
Yes, he did. And now
I
the
never
Germans.
got it.
And now the Germans are trying to do that
Over my
here.
head.
I feel, what's funny is I almost feel insulted.
Why?
I'm a chunker sitting in the room.
Oh,
Exactly.
listen,
No,
Right?
you definitely are insulted, BC. And if you're
And
not,
are you German?
German,
The last-
Scottish,
There we go.
Zeppelin, the last name, it's right there.
Yeah,
It's
Zeppelin.
right there. Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Kaiser.
Kaiser Zeppelin.
That's right.
Kaiser
creator of the
Soze
Zeppelin.
Zeppelin.
Yeah,
Kaiser
Kaiser Soze
Soze.
Zeppelin. Jeez. Hey, I want to give you the feel-good news story of the day.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
I need one because I'm about to piss
Callahan
everybody off.
Says Willie Lawson is in the house.
Oh,
And
Willie.
there he is.
Oh,
There's
Willie.
Willie.
Willie,
just
thank
jumped
you so
into,
much for joining us as
Willie,
well.
thank
Yeah,
you.
just jumped into the chat roll. Great to see him.
Excellent. Well, to talk to him anyways. So.
Yeah, or
Why, I
see
see
his
he's right
name.
there.
And
He
to see
sees
the name. Yeah, it's
we'll
not-
give it to him.
Yeah. No,
Phil-
don't give it to him. He's right there. I see him.
Day after
Right
tomorrow.
Potentially.
Potentially the day after tomorrow. as
Potentially.
well.
Yeah.
Feel good story of the news day.
I'm kind of hot still in here.
It's man, so I'm like roasting. I'm about ready
and
to
I
get in
turned
a
down the
t-shirt.
heat. I might have
What
to
if I
turn on-
told you?
I might have to.
You need
I
the
might have to
AC.
turn on the air.
I think you should.
What if I told you that there was a fire in a place?
A fire in a fireplace?
A fireplace.
Like a fireplace?
In a place that would
GMTA.
Yeah.
In a place that if I said it about any other former head of state for our nation, any other former president, you'd be like, "Wow, it's a little weird." But this one, you're going to go, "No, it makes sense."
No. Okay.
can you take a guess of whose personal home may have caught fire today?
Are they trying to burn documents?
Well,
Were they trying to burn documents?
I had 2 questions involving this fire, sir.
Kaiser Soze.
Number
Ooh,
2.
that's a good.
That
that's
was his
a
house. It was
that's
his
a good.
house, right?
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Napoleon
the
Bonaparte?
current
Napoleon. No.
Napoleon?
Napoleon. No,
Dynamite.
Napoleon syndrome.
Dynamite.
Bones a lot.
Dynamite.
Right? Isn't that his stage name?
That's right. That's what he went
Napoleon
by
Complex Bones a lot.
in that one movie.
Right.
Bill, the personal home of Bill and Hillary Clinton caught
Yes.
fire
No.
today.
Yeah.
Which it was quickly extinguished. What we're being told is that it was only contained to the Secret Service annex, which brings me to 2 questions.
Why'd they firebomb the Secret Service annex?
Wait. That's my first question. What did those Secret Service agents see?
And
or
no.
what was recorded in there? Number 2, how is it that this annex was able to get help immediately and didn't have to wait 13 hours for water?
Good question. So
Wow,
here's the
that-
thing.
okay.
Okay.
Now I have 2 things on that. Number 1, if there was anything shady or salacious going on, then that annex would have had to wait 13 hours for a fire department or other emergency medical services to arrive on scene. What?
What?
Fire department will be here in 13 hours. What? There's a
Wait.
station 2.5 blocks out.
Yeah, no. they're
13
not.
hours.
13 hours. We need to make sure everything's done.
Everything. They're going to fill the truck up with water.
Yeah.
Well,
We don't know if we can cross sector them because that's not their area, and
and
the other ones.
administrator told them they can't go.
Right.
He
That's
said, no, you have to
so
stay here.
so here's, and this is just a theory.
okay.
This is just a theory.
I love your theories.
So Secret Service agent ends up walking into the house in order to conduct regular Secret Service type duties and checks, right? He sees Hillary Clinton naked.
Well,
He immediately runs out of the house and attempts to start a fire to heat up a hot poker so that he could blind himself permanently. The hot poker, he's so upset, he drops it, it falls on the carpet, it catches fire. The Clintons, being so embarrassed that she was seen naked and that this agent would go public with the tattoo, immediately gets help to extinguish the fire in order for his silence so that he doesn't get fired for his careless, reckless behavior.
I heard she
And then she forces him to have sex with him, much in a Kingpin type esque scene.
thanks.
What do you think of my story?
Well,
heard
I think
she
I ate in the
has
last hour.
two-
DZ?
Two tattoos.
Oh, Lord.
One is Reggie Love, and the other one is
Huma. Yeah.
Huma.
Huma. Which we'll talk about.
But what's weird is
Well-
like it's Huma, but she's like in a face down position. With anyway, it's not important.
no, it really is.
We'll get into Huma like Bill did a little later in the show.
Yeah.
Because I'm still convinced that's how Huma came to power.
Hey, what do you think of my theory? I need.
I want to know a couple things. Number 1,
Yes.
how do you
I'm
sleep at
concerned
night?
about
Number
the Secret
2, how
Service
could you
guy.
even imagine that happening? Number 3, if that did happen,
So you're acknowledging it's possible.
well, yeah, how could that not be possible?
If it is possible, then you know how I can imagine it.
Number 3 or 4, whichever one I got on to,
D.
D.
We'll just call it X.
all the above.
Z.
You saying that Bill gave her the D? Doesn't matter. My heart goes out to the Secret Service agent.
Who saw
yeah,
them?
that
We
poor
pray. We pray for your optical recovery.
Yes.
Chat amongst yourselves for a while. I'm going to go turn on the air.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, go ahead. Hey,
That's
turn
nice.
turn it down really cool. Man, it's blazing in here. Blazing.
So, oh yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Yep. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Are you good now, BZ?
We should have a sports team called the California Blazes, and it has a lot of different terms given
Okay,
the
you
current.
guys we should all be better in just a second.
I'm sure
Yeah.
we all will.
I'm sure we all will.
Melanie in chat says this shit isn't funny because it's 2 degrees in New Jersey right now.
Hang on a second. It's 64 here, so I think we're actually gonna head out to the pool here in a little bit.
Yeah. Did you bring your? I brought
I'm
my
not-
trunks.
I brought my
I
trunks.
am not. No. I have to see people eventually.
Yeah, but not for a while. They'll forget about it by then.
No, they won't.
Hey, by the way, I brought the mixers and the umbrellas. So afterwards,
Cool.
we're going. Yeah.
Nice. I mean, those are for the drinks, right? The
Right.
Little, the little
No.
umbrellas. for
The
drinks.
umbrellas are to block the sun tomorrow. Come on.
All the sun.
Yeah.
So you know how they call it a
You're so-
cryo bomb or something like that. I forget what
I
they
love
call
the
it, like
fact
a
that you're
snow bomb.
totally staying away from this
I'm not-
because you.
I'll get the shit kicked out of me.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I know I will.
Yeah, you would.
I
And
don't
then the
even-
whole time you're doing it, you can just be giggling, saying, "I'm going back to sunny California."
It says it's 45 degrees in, of all places, Tampa.
Yeah, 45 degrees in
45
Tampa. That's
in Tampa.
insane. Oh God, yeah, no, I'm a dead man at this point. So,
Hey,
yeah,
so you might as well just join us.
I texted a buddy of mine today, and I said, "Hey, this snow is the bomb, huh?" And all I got back was, "Please fucking don't." And I haven't heard back from him whatsoever, which is really weird. Yeah, man, it's the type of cold that waterfalls are freezing. Like it's pretty serious.
Oh, didn't Niagara Falls freeze?
So I guess a portion of, not the main falls, the horseshoes have not, but some of the smaller portions of it have, from what I understand.
And Melanie says, in New Jersey, we're going to get 4 feet of snow.
Only
tomorrow.
4?
Only 4.
Well, that's
Hey, listen. You'll see your head will still be above there
Yeah.
as you wade through, right?
Willie says it's going to get down to 33 degrees tonight in Tampa. But Willie, look.
That's not even freezing.
That's not even freezing.
That's not
So
even freezing.
What do you have to worry about? And the answer is not really, not much.
Yeah, that's not even freezing.
wow. To my family and friends on the East Coast, you know I love you and care for you deeply, and I don't agree with these two
Your
idiots.
phone is
I
gonna
think
start
they're
going off very shortly now, right?
I can already see messages. lining
Listen,
up.
hey, to Sean's, like, all seriousness, to Sean's family and friends on the East Coast, we love you guys. My thoughts and prayers are with you guys the entire time while I'm sipping my blue fruity drink and just trying to stay cool.
And walking around in shorts.
Yeah.
I'm walking around in shorts.
You actually are.
You are.
I am walking
You
around
actually
in
are.
shorts. Come on.
I have a sweatshirt on because I'm chilly. Just
Melanie
not-
Then why are you sweating?
Well, not for long because
Listen.
I turned the air on.
You know, okay, you know what? We're starting a movement.
I started one earlier.
What does this have to do with
You did.
politics?
Nothing.
It's a political talk show.
It's a
folks.
it's a political movement. We're East Coast strong. So tomorrow we're wearing sweatshirts and jackets, regardless of how freaking warm it is.
I'm sorry. In
You'll see, I'm already there, folks. I'm already there.
Why are your sleeves rolled up if you're so cold?
Because this is sympathy.
Okay.
No, it's like this is like sympathy. I'm wearing this in solidarity with I'm keeping my arms cold in solidarity for my friends.
They're not cold. You're warm. You're trying to stay cool.
No,
Hence you pulled.
I don't know if you see
sleeves
like how freezing I am right now.
up.
Just an asshole. So
You want to hear my feel good story of the week?
I would
I
love to.
always want to hear a Clint story. I always want to hear a Clint story. Hell yes.
Go ahead, Clint.
No, it's nothing that happened to me. Like, it's nothing that awesome. Although I might think of one. I'm sorry. It's actually a news story.
Oh.
So January 1st, California immediately became a sanctuary state.
Yes.
Yes, it did.
And I actually want to talk about this. I know we only have 6 minutes. We're probably going to run a little bit late, but that's okay. So, number one, how awesome was it that ICE came out and said, "Oh yeah, we're going to double the number of immigration
Oh my God! I played
agents
that,
in your."
I played that cut last
in
night
your
from
state.
Assistant Director Homan, who said essentially, "Guess what, California? I'm doubling down on
Yes.
your bullshit."
Yes.
And if you thought you saw ICE agents in droves now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yes. Now, so I have a and guess what? We're and what's even better than that is I don't think of anything better than that. That's fucking awesome.
That's so great.
Oh, they're talking about actually charging the politicians criminally.
Oh yeah.
How
bring it.
amazing is that?
Bring it, baby.
So I wanna now. Here's how insane this sanctuary state status is. Here's how insane it is.
I would so love to see that.
No, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Here's how insane this is. And this question goes out to you leftists out there, to you progressive big government folks.
Boom, boom, boom.
What would you do if the federal government outlawed an entire class of weapons, kind of like the Clintons did with the assault weapons ban,
Yes.
where they banned assault weapons for the nation? That's the federal law. Law of the land. Second Amendment, the federal government, that is a federal issue. Immigration, it is a federal issue. If there was a state like, I don't know, let's call it Schmalifornia,
Okay, all right.
And if this
Hypothetical state.
if this hypothetical state, no, let's not do it because they love Schmalifornia. Let's call it Spexis. If Spex, S-P-E-X, don't think of anything racial.
No.
If Spexis said, you know what, we're going to allow assault weapons. As a matter of fact, we are going to encourage assault. And for everybody that purchases an assault weapon here in Smexis, we are going to pay for your lawyers to defend you. We will not allow the federal government to come get you. As a matter of fact, we will guarantee that our officers do not cooperate with the federal government to come get your assault weapons here in Smexis.
And because you love assault weapons, we'll give you free tuition to any
Yes,
school you want.
we'll give you
also.
free tuition to any school you want because you love assault weapons.
Yes.
And,
How many leftists would lose their fucking mind?
and if you use an assault weapon to, say, kill somebody who is against assault weapons,
And then they were found not guilty.
not guilty,
right?
right? You'd be fine.
Right. So that's my first question for the light. And you know, right now they're rolling their eyes. One of two things is happening. The ones that can actually rub two brain cells together, their heads just fucking exploded. And the ones that are just so brain dead and they follow along with whatever talking points that the progressive movement tells them to, they're like,
those people don't exist.
oh, that's just totally different. Okay.
No, it's not.
So then I have another question. Smalifornia, actually this happened. So California actually has recreational use of marijuana.
Yeah.
It is still a federal class 1 controlled substance. It is a category 1 controlled substance, the federal government. So, if the federal government said,
We're
I
going
don't
to start
know.
enforcing that.
Oh, that would be awesome. But no, I was actually going to go one better. If the federal government says we are going to outlaw marijuana,
Uh-huh.
and there was a state that wanted to allow the recreational use of marijuana, you would champion that cause, right?
Right.
But if it were guns, you wouldn't,
Right. Because guns are
because
evil.
states have states' rights, right?
Guns are evil, and marijuana has never done anything wrong.
Wasn't there an officer killed in a crash because the DUI was a combination
Well, of alcohol and
of alcohol?
marijuana.
I don't know. I didn't read that, but I don't know.
Hasn't there been studies out of Britain about the psychosis?
So,
because
that-
the
yeah,
amount of
long word.
That was a CHP officer last week, as a matter of
Yes,
fact.
it was.
You know what else is ridiculous? I just saw a state of California sponsored anti-tobacco ad.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Are
okay,
you
now I get it.
freaking-
No, I get it. I get
Okay.
it. It's the difference between tobacco
Uh-huh.
and dope. It's all the difference in the world.
Okay,
Don't
so
you
hang on.
see?
Yes. What's the argument for recreational use of marijuana?
To put smoke in your lungs.
It's natural.
Right.
It's a plant.
Right.
What the fuck is tobacco?
Right.
Oh, tobacco's evil.
It's
Oh, I'm
horrific.
sorry. Wait. What about secondhand tobacco smoke?
It's evil.
That's bad.
Right.
But if you're smoking dope, that's okay. I just want to
That's
let
okay.
you know.
Secondhand marijuana smoke's totally fine.
You know what-
Secondhand
You know what else is fine?
dope smoke. It's cool, dude.
You know what else is fine?
What?
Vaping.
Yes.
You can take the middleman out. You can take the natural tobacco leaf out. And I think the marijuana also. And you can just smoke the chemical by itself.
And nobody says
Just
boo.
through vapors.
Nobody says boo.
To let you know how deadly nicotine is, if you get it absorbed through your skin, like even, I forget the size, like dime or nickel or something,
Yeah,
like,
you
it
can
will
imagine.
kill you.
Yes.
That's how potent nicotine is.
Thank God you know that. Now, the same is not true of THC, right? Because
Correct.
THC is natural.
Yes. So is nicotine. So's
That's the first I've heard of that.
so's caffeine.
But so is an alcohol.
Well, how is it they smoke the tobacco plant?
No. I don't think you're in keeping with God's great plan in California.
Folks,
Am I
we're up
right?
against the break here on
So,
the
hang on.
Sackheads Radio Show.
No, hang on a second. This is important
I'm not
It is.
saying it's not.
because do we want to pick it up then?
Really,
Yeah, why don't
Okay.
we pick it up?
Really important.
We'll pick it up.
We're up against the break here on the Sackheads Radio Show. When we come back,
Dave Miller. Hello, Dave.
Clint's gonna
I got a story for you guys.
Clint's
on the
gonna
break.
keep going about
I
pot.
want to hear a Clint story.
It's on the break.
All that and more on the Sackheads Radio Show live on the SHR Media Network.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American maggots won't. BZ is fundamentally changing America one diaper at a time. just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, where the speech is free, but the drinks are not. The Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night, commencing at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, where pushback is a requisite art form in and of itself. Let your ossicles be truly liberated when you listen to the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, only on SHR Media Network. No ferrets were harmed in the making of this ad.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through SHRmedia.com, HighPlainsTalkRadio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on BlogTalkRadio.com. There's
no surrender ever,
because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver Common Sense Show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on SHRmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk, the Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Go ahead, I'll say it
again. Some of the best A-roll is going to be evil.
Like, what are you talking about? Just like the last question we cut a couple seconds. Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Good point. Exactly right.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ, no communists allowed on the SHR Media Network.
Damn straight, mister.
Back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome back to the Sackheads Radio Show, live on the SHR Media Network. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
So then this goddamn California. What? Oh, do we need to cut the commercial?
No, we're
I've
good.
Just been going off.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're absolutely good.
No, basically what we're talking about is
a lovely story.
Great a state.
That's a great story.
California is. California is just a great, great state, and we all want to stay here.
Yeah,
don't we?
I would evac tomorrow.
It's like I tell everybody, literally, and I don't know if people believe us or not. This really is, honest to God, this is the one thing that I'm really glad about you guys and having me on, because my 1-year anniversary is this month.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And I really appreciate you guys having me here. But I want to tell everybody, if I had a little camera, this actually is a real, honest to God studio. It's
Yes.
It's not someone's basement or a desk in your bathroom or something like that. This is an honest to God studio. But we, like I say on my show, we are less than 2 miles away from
the belly of the beast.
Mill. From the state capital.
Yes, we are.
Belly
That's
of the
how
beast.
close we are to the fucking insanity.
Yes.
The raging insanity that goes on in this stupid state.
I will tell you right now, coming from Massachusetts, I thought I'd be pretty prepared, right? Because we have some crazy liberals in Massachusetts, absolute insane liberals in Massachusetts.
Yes.
I thought I'd be prepared, and then I got to California.
We have even more.
And I was like, holy shit, are we a conservative state in Massachusetts? Are you all right over there?
What? What?
What did you just do?
Fucking technology.
Pick it up.
Pick what up?
There you go. You're better now. BZ, how? How have I gotten through 5 years of this?
I don't know. I really don't.
Literally, for 5 years, I've kept him from hurting himself through technology.
That's why you put the fuzzy thing on the microphone, right?
Well, before I did that, you'd have marks every week after the show.
Remember?
Yes.
And they were like, that is not from a microphone, that's from Sean. And I'm like,
no.
trust me, Sean's not that big.
Yeah, no. There's no way that comparison could ever be made.
By the way, I do feel compelled to take a moment and to publicly say, unequivocally, that the Sackheads Radio Show and the SHR Media Network is in no way affiliated with the Welcome to California signs that have sprung up throughout the state.
Oh.
Contrary to popular belief.
In chat, I put a copy of
Did
that
you?
sign in
Yes.
chat. So, folks, if you're in chat, you can scroll up the chat roll thing, and I put a copy of that Sanctuary City sign.
I'll tell you right now.
In chat for you guys to click on the link and go see. What
Do you
we're
have the
talking about.
verbiage of it?
It says.
Yes. Click go.
So first of all,
where was it posted?
Oh, it's been posted on Welcome to California signs entering
Everywhere.
the state of California.
Everywhere in the state of
I think
California.
from the Nevada border, I think
Yep.
the Arizona border.
Yep.
I mean, somebody took their time.
Yeah.
And what it says is it's an official blue and white
If
information.
you've
So in
ever
the state
seen,
of
let
California,
me explain.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you've ever gone into another state and you see like the bathroom signs, they're the blue rectangular with the rounded edges. Some states use those. They use them for a billion different
Blue
things.
and white informational signs.
But you see it coming a mile away. They have their little state logo on it sometimes, maybe their little state saying. It's usually under the giant welcome sign.
Yep.
Welcome to California. Welcome station 4 miles. Things like that.
Yep.
And these signs were made of the same aluminum. They were sized perfectly.
They're not.
They were-
not
oh,
little
no, somebody
pieces of
spent some
paper.
money.
Yeah.
Die
They're not
cut.
paper. They're not cardboard.
No, they were die cut, matched, sized. To say that it was somebody who maybe have hung signs for a living, maybe.
Now, here's what it says. The sign says official, I think like official sanctuary state, like Welcome to California, official sanctuary state. It says, quote, felons, illegals, and MS-13 welcome. And then underneath it says, Democrats need the votes.
Yes!
In
Okay.
cursive.
All right.
Right.
Let's stop. What portion of that sign
Is
a
wrong.
lie?
Right.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever.
So if you don't like the sign, okay, leftists, 2 miles that way. Tell me
Yes.
what portion of that sign is an abject, bold lie.
Yes.
Equals no, it's not.
It was heavenly. When I saw that, I was like, oh, look. And I didn't read the story, but I said, oh, look, somebody photoshopped over the Welcome to California sign, the little footer onto it. That's amazing. And then I read into the story, and they're like, oh, no, these are everywhere. And because people, when they were posting it on social media, for a while, I guess, weren't putting exactly where the signs were. So Caltrans, the California Department of Transportation, was not able to respond quickly and remove them.
Yes.
And I want to know how many Caltrans people drove by that and either A, didn't notice,
or high-fived and kept going.
because they looked that legitimate, and B, high-fived and kept going. And here's the thing. It's 4...
After they took photos.
Oh, yeah. It's 4 bolts. Somebody knew the exact dimensions. And if you know those street signs, they're the rectangulars with the hole. They're the squares. Square poles with the holes in them all the way up. So all you have to do is slap it into place, put the 2 bolts in, bolt it on, and go.
And let me tell you the effed up part of this whole thing.
Okay.
Here is the effed up part of this whole thing.
Oh, they're going to find a felony for it.
Oh, there is a felony.
Yes.
For it. It is 472 of the California Penal Code.
Of course.
And it is forging or counterfeiting the state seal.
No.
Which appears
Wait a
on
minute.
appears on the
In California,
signs.
it's a misdemeanor to carry a gun.
Yes.
That's because
But
that's because a lot of elected officials carry concealed weapons illegally, and if they're caught and convicted, it's only a misdemeanor. They can
So
still
they don't
hold
lose
office.
Right. They don't lose
But
their office.
But it's a felony
Yes.
to bolt a sign.
Well,
no,
to
no.
forge.
Or,
The
I'm sorry,
the
you're
problem.
right, to forge anything representing the state of California onto that sign.
No, it's the seal
The
in the
state
upper
seal.
left-hand corner of that sign. That's the problem.
Well, let me ask you this, though.
So hang on. So if they're bolting it, so here's the thing. If they bolt that sign onto that signpost, you technically have a bullshit misdemeanor vandalism for the holes made in that signpost. That's damage that was not otherwise there.
Wait, hold on. Those
Yes.
signs come pre-drilled. They're holed top to bottom, inside and out.
Not the signs, the posts.
Right. No, the posts are. They don't touch the signs. These are completely separate and under. They never make contact with. I looked at all the pictures.
No, I thought that picture showed it bolted to that post.
No, they
okay,
did.
so then
separate.
so then they disturbed the ground, which is an environmental offense in the state of California.
Okay,
That's another
I'll
felony.
give you
I'm
that
pretty
one.
sure. No, but the 472
Using a motor vehicle,
but
idling
it's-
for more than 5 minutes on a freeway.
But here's the thing. So here's what they have. They have 472, which is forging or counterfeiting the state seal. That's a problem. If they would have left the state seal off that sign, then you're probably okay. But they put it on there. That's a problem. Number 2, I guarantee one person did not put that sign up by themselves.
No, it's conspiracy.
That's a conspiracy
to commit a felony.
Yeah. Which means it's a felony. Here's the other fucked up part. If they attempted to put that sign up somewhere else but was unsuccessful because somebody was there or whatever, now you have an attempt to commit a felony as well. So you have another attempted crime. So,
Right,
folks,
it's 664 conspiracy.
664 182 PC. Thank you, BZ.
And you know what?
Jesus.
Hey, BZ, hang on a second. I love this. Let's play this game. Hey, BZ, where am I wrong?
No, actually, I could. If
Kate
I
Steinle's-
were a leftist piece of shit attorney in this state, I could
Assistant district
before
attorney.
a judge and
Yes.
attempt to make that argument in an open court. That's how far fucking stupid people are in California.
Yes.
And I just took a picture of a picture, so I'm going to show everyone. If you
Well, now hang on a
haven't
second.
seen it yet, I'm going to show you.
What if they can prove that sign prohibited somebody from conducting commerce or from coming into the state? Now you have somebody affecting commerce. You see the state seal? Is that the state seal in the lower left?
Lower left.
Yep, lower left, state seal.
And the one on the right is the Democrat Party.
Yeah, that one I don't know if I don't think that's a problem to forge. I don't know, but the California state seal I know is.
So, what it says? Clint's absolutely correct. That's exactly what it says.
Here's the absolute best part about this, and this sums up California so well. And when I say best part, the tragedy in California.
472.
Kate Steinle's murderer essentially walked on California charges.
Yes.
Essentially walked.
Right, because the
On the
attorneys
murder, yeah.
were able to convince a stupid jury consisting of nothing but millennials that it's possible for a SIG 239 to just
I disagree.
go off.
I think
hold on, I don't want to get into the whole Steinle case.
No, I know, but
I want to
think
point
it
out
was
the tragedy.
It was political.
Oh no, it absolutely was
that
political.
whole jury that was a political
God,
verdict.
yes, it's
Yeah.
jury nullification, just like the O.J. Simpson verdict.
Yeah.
That's the
Sorry,
high-flying
Sean.
fickle finger
No,
of fate
I-
to
I-
the state of California.
I understand that.
To anybody
There's
that
someone on the wing.
But here's the tragedy in this.
Gremlin.
That guy, if it wasn't for the Fed stepping in, that guy pretty much would have walked fucking free. Right?
Yeah, a couple years, right?
Yeah,
a couple years
maybe.
on
In
the
California?
on the felon in possession. What do you get?
In
A few years?
California? No. He wouldn't even get that. Felon in possession is a nonviolent offense.
Felon in possession of a firearm.
It's still, I think...
He would have gotten something. It's San Francisco, California, and he had a gun.
He was an illegal immigrant who the country
but I think
left
it-
behind, and he was allowed to fill.
I think they had. Would they have him on 3 years or something
I-
like that?
I don't-
BZ, do you remember?
I don't think he would have done...
I thought it was 3 years. or
Convicted,
something.
right, but then he gets into the California prison system, and
Yeah,
he's
which is a
out
fucking
in
joke.
9
In
months.
a year and a half, right.
Maybe. And that's if he wasn't kicked immediately to a county jail and put on double secret super probation.
Although now, even when he's released from that, they can't tell the feds under
Right.
California law.
Right. So this asshole walks free, the scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet dollars to donuts the amount of money that's going to go into the investigation of these signs and the prosecution. And they will drag these people out in public like a chain gang and embarrass them and do everything they can. News media will go
Now,
insane.
hang on a second. Do we know that there's an investigation? Did we contact? Because who would even investigate that?
Wouldn't CHP?
No, I think it would be county sheriff.
No. state sign, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a state sign.
Highway
It's
patrol.
gotta be CHP.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's an open investigation or not. I don't know. Maybe somebody from the media should reach out to them.
So I guarantee you, if there's not right,
No, they can't. They don't have law enforcement. I don't
but
think, right?
I can almost guarantee you. Let's say that the CHP was like, "Yeah, this is a waste of resources. In the interest of justice, it's not worth investigating this. We'll rip the signs down and throw them away and call it a day." Which, listen, California does like crazy with certain crimes, right? Sacramento right now, I could get blasted in the face by some random dude. He wouldn't get prosecuted out of the interest of justice. It costs more, in their opinion, to prosecute him than my face is worth.
Right.
And that's a fact.
Which is sad, because they could say, well, you know what? The cost to society and having a whole bunch of these fucking astards running around that are willing to do this shit
doesn't matter.
Makes society worse. We'll
But
spend the money now. Ridiculous.
Somebody pulls a prank, albeit criminal charges. I understand that. I'm not saying that doesn't apply on some level. But there was no damage to the state property because they used the pre-drilled holes, sign holes. It wasn't like they stole the signs and then resurfaced them and put them back up. They appear to be made completely by themselves. It can be absolutely fixed by unscrewing 4 bolts and walking away.
Yeah. Look here,
but I bet money someone in this state 2 miles from us is going to demand justice be done, and the news media hounds, these idiot leftist.
Sacramento Bee will be all
Sacramento
over
Bee.
it.
No, this will be MSNBC.
The LA Times.
Oh, they'll try to tie this back to Trump somehow. All this shit will go insane over this.
Over a joke.
Over a joke.
But here's my thing. So here's my thing. I have to wonder if there's something more to the case, and here's why I say that. Those seals, I mean, I didn't really blow the picture up. I obviously haven't seen the sign or anything in person, but those seals looked pretty good.
Let me see.
So I have to wonder if those seals were actually stolen from somewhere.
Well, but the whole
if it's a state or a Caltrans employee or a county employee or a former who maybe had the sign blanks, was in possession of some seals, and now so hang on. So if they didn't forge the seal and they simply affixed an official state seal onto that,
it's not
really
a forgery.
All we have them is on a misdemeanor possession of stolen property, right?
Well, no, because they're not intending to deprive the state of the property.
They gave it back.
They're allowing them. They put it where they can see it. Here you go, guys. Come get it.
So then we're back to vandalism.
But even then, that's only if the damage was done.
Well, if they damage that blue sign bank, or they damage the sticker and they can't reuse it,
right?
The state's out at least $1.50,
$1.75,
right?
Let's start.
Although prison industry made, so maybe like
49 cents.
Right.
So let's start a defense fund for $10 to replace the damaged property. But you're 100% right. It's insane. I get it.
If that's the story, that's funny.
I absolutely.
Right? I absolutely did not forge that seal. That seal.
I bet money somewhere there's a sign maker who used to work for the state who is like, yeah, you know what? I'm a small business and I get railed every year by this state, and all these people get shit for free. I have an idea.
I don't listen. It's genius. I don't condone criminal behavior.
No, absolutely.
I know nobody here condones
behavior.
criminal behavior. If they actually forged the seals, then hey, there has to be an investigation.
Oh shit! You know what they'll get them for?
What?
Stopping on the shoulder when it's not an emergency.
Is that against the law?
You see the sign all over the place.
Are you kidding me? I never read those signs. I'm too busy talking on the phone.
Good, me too, hon.
Yeah, through my Bluetooth. It's hands-free. I'm good.
I have a question, though. An actual
Pardon me,
serious
folks.
question, just for a moment. Within the next week or two, in either a yes or a no or a percentile, what do you think the chances seriously are that someone somewhere will talk about or say they wish to instigate an investigation of that sign?
Oh, I guarantee it's 100%.
Oh, it's already happened.
Yes.
That made national news. Yeah. I guarantee that's already
There's
happened.
no way that the Democratic National Committee in this state did not make a phone call to the State House saying this needs to be done right away. If not, there was already a state senator, governor.
Look, and not only that, but let's look at
an attorney general.
This hit national news. That beat cop went out there, took a look, was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, it's true. And now at that point, he has to take a report and document it.
It's so great.
right? The guy, the beat cop guy or gal or whatever, still has to do their job.
No. That part
Right?
I understand totally.
So, and they're not going to generate a report, and with the national news, it's just going to go away.
But
I mean,
here's-
this is going to be a sign. I mean, they're gonna look at it.
But here's the difference.
They're going to have to.
And I'll show you even Massachusetts to California.
No, but am I right?
No, absolutely
I mean,
right.
As the beat cop, would anybody have to do anything different?
I don't even shit.
National
I don't-
news, you have a known crime. You don't, right?
I don't shit on the beat cop. I don't even shit on the ADA who gets the pressure, right? You're going to find somebody they identified through fingerprints. That's the other thing. I guarantee you, when other investigatory science takes months in this state, these prints will come back so fucking quick.
Day after tomorrow, as BZ likes to say.
They'll get prioritized over serial killers.
Oh yeah, no, this is gonna go.
Yeah. Oh, new lead in the Zodiac case. No. We got some friggin' prints from the Highway Patrol.
We
They've
get signs
submitted some
coming in from
prints.
Bakersfield,
Yeah.
and they have to be done right away.
Can I tell you guys a cop sign story?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Envision, and folks that are listening and watching in podcast, envision that same sign, okay? So you saw the sign in as you're watching, and you click the link, and you know what the sign looks like. Now envision a sign like that on what are those, 4x4s?
Yes.
Okay, and envision a sign adjacent a freeway, but it's wider, and it's sufficiently wide that you could drive an automobile underneath it. Okay, and imagine that you knew of a training officer that would purposely take their trainees out, and to show what a great driver they were, the training officer would drive the car off the freeway and drive it under the sign at speed so that he could show his trainee just what a good driver that person is. Now imagine another officer in the same district who got wind of that particular story, and one night, very, very early in the morning, took out a couple of wrenches.
Oh, no.
And
Oh no!
And a drill and some bolts, some fresh bolts, and then took and moved that sign down about 2.5 feet.
Oh Lord!
And then reattached the bolts. Had to drill new holes and screwed in, with the wrenches. Screwed the bolts back in. And if it's night or during the day or something like that, if you're driving at speed, you wouldn't necessarily see that sign was a little bit lower. And imagine if you were responding with that deputy to another call with the trainee in the front, but you were behind them, you see, and they were about, 300 or 400 yards ahead of you, and there was sufficient time for them to attempt to impress their trainee about that, and you knew full well that, hey, he's going the right direction on Interstate 80. Okay, and he's going eastbound, which is his standard route, and then at this last moment decides that he's going to impress his trainee with what a great driver he is, only to discover that the lowered sign is sufficiently low that it knocks his light bar completely off of his car.
It's like something out of Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, it would be something like out of Smokey and the Bandit,
Yes.
wouldn't it?
What year could that have happened in? If it
That
like
would have been around 1987 or 88. No, I'm not saying it happened.
No.
Right.
I'm just saying,
But if it did happen,
imagine if it did.
Imagine if something like that did happen.
So
Now,
if it did happen,
Imagine if somebody's father took the crash on that.
right? And I'm just gonna set this up based on
about that. Now that is funny. Okay, that's my sign story.
I had to turn the camera off for a second. Okay.
Okay. All right. You went with the sign, so I had to go there. Okay.
That's funny.
Lord, baby, Jesus.
Imagine having to explain that to the sergeant.
To your sergeant.
and all
How
I
did
could
you
picture-
lose your light bar.
I don't know.
And then not only that, but somewhere along the line to someone you'd have to provide the backstory.
I think I'd go silent on it. I'd be like,
Oh
what?
yeah.
I have no idea what happened to it.
Yeah, I'd be like the trainee was driving.
Yeah,
I just
we came out from a call and it was gone. Friggin' vandals. Haven't seen it since.
Meanwhile, the Allied Agency, what happened to our sign?
The sign.
Whose light bar is this?
How about the roof of the Crown Vic that's all curled up because of the
No,
inertia?
they were Model A's back then.
They were Model A's back then. Oh, and I'm gonna guess that it was the square tops on the light bars.
The
old
80s?
Oh yeah, it was either the square tops
or the bubble gum.
No, it was oblong. They were out of bubble gums in the 70s. So it was the oblong or the squares. They hadn't gone to the triangles. That was the 90s.
Oh man.
Oh, that's so.
I sense it's the.
I think the squares
ovals.
were before the oblong.
I think it might have been one of the oval light bars.
Oh God, that's even better.
I don't know for a fact. That's just what I heard.
I just picture. If that story were to have happened, which obviously it hasn't.
Obviously it had. No, that's just too ridiculous of a story. But if it had,
stupid.
I mean, that's yeah.
Yeah, it's so
my favorite part of that is not even necessarily the potential other officer who was following, or even a person who would have to respond, let's say, and take the report. My favorite would be the average citizen who is driving the other way, minding their own business at 3, 4 in the morning, and just to look over. And I'm guessing they were probably showing off if that were to happen. So there was emergency equipment activated.
There's got to be some cars on the freeway,
right?
A couple.
To see this patrol vehicle veer off the road, have the light bar imaginarily sheared cleanly
and watch
off
the
the
shower of sparks
everywhere, right? I just picture like you have in every television show where a cop car crashes. One of the lights with enough electricity still flowing through the air. It's magical, really. It would be like a magician did it. Holy shit, that's awesome. If only that happened.
I got the visual, and that's amazing. I'm not gonna lie. That's amazing.
I don't even know where to go with this.
But it's just a a theory.
Signs.
So to wrap up on the California signs, look.
To wrap up on California,
I'm
done talking about this state.
Yeah,
in general.
To wrap up on the state of California, but look, we all know that the tragedy through this is going to be that the sign will get more investigation than half the felonies in this state. The sign will get more investigation or more.
There are no more felonies in this state, except for that one.
That's the only one. That's not true. If you illegally affix tabs onto your license plate, that's still a felony.
You have to create them.
Right. But you know what I mean.
Because that's forgery. We're back to the whole forgery.
It's fraudulent. You're taking money from the state.
The state only has people specifically designed to investigate that.
People can take money. People can take money from you. You can't take money from the state. That shit's a felony.
Wait. Sean disappeared there for a second.
God, I love this state.
Where am I wrong?
I love this state like the dog that keeps biting you and you never get rid of him. You're like, oh no, he's gonna change soon. And like next week, you get holes all over your arm. Like, what happened? Well, Blitz just, I was walking to the bathroom at 3 a.m. and it just rifled me for no reason whatsoever. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Has he ever done that before? Yeah, once a week. But anytime now, he's going to do it differently.
Right. No, he's going to love me. He's full of love.
Yeah, he's just full of love. He's just turning his life around.
Look, he purrs every time I pet him. That's a growl.
The asshole neighbor then walks up the next day and says, "That's not my dog."
That's not my dog. That's still one of the greatest movies, The Pink Panther. Oh, God. I thought you said
What do you guys think about
the
CNN pot fest?
Yeah,
He's in the mask and the dope.
Yeah, I don't even know what they were going for.
Listen,
Look,
California, I know from inside information, California has no idea what it's doing. Absolutely none. And boy, did they open a door that they're going to have to walk through, but they have no idea of the unforeseen
hopefully somebody doesn't lower the threshold 2 inches.
Oh, yeah, the feds will. Right now, the feds are like, watch this, we're going to lower this sign 2 inches. Or 2 feet.
Yeah, and then California loses its
but
light
no,
bar.
Really quick with CNN, Clint brought it up. Look, you're already a news agency that's taking hits for your credibility left and right.
Mostly right.
Mostly right. You are losing ratings all over the friggin' place. And we talk about how you were placating to certain demographics in this country, and then you do a live 2-hour from Colorado, and your reporter is smoking weed through a gas mask, and you expect us to take you seriously.
Yep.
Don Lemon.
Dude, hand me the Cheetos.
Yeah, and then you watch that, and then the next day you have Anderson Cooper telling you how this president's out of control. I'm like, your fucking news agency was just smoking weed.
Yep. And but to be fair, he didn't really defend it. He was just kind of like, "Oh, she didn't really inhale."
Right.
Yeah, well, I probably could have done it a little bit better. I think
no Democrats inhale, right?
Yeah, right.
When
we know that for a fact.
When Anderson Cooper is a little bit kind of like,
yeah,
that's a problem.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I don't get the I don't get that he was too happy.
Yeah.
With that.
Well,
speaking of happy, do you see South Korea seized one of the ships that was transferring oil?
2 of them.
Obviously, somebody listens to our show.
All that and more here next. Actually, I want to talk about that next on the Sackheads Radio Show.
Door that just got opened.
Yes, let's talk about that after we come back from break here on the Sackheads Radio Show live on the SHR Media Network.
I watched a great YouTube.
Behind enemy lines in occupied California, the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is featured on the SHR Media Network every Tuesday and Thursday night for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. Whilst manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ continues to radically change the world of leftists, one diaper at a time. Stop balancing your checkbooks. Stop cleaning your fish tanks. The Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is your magnet for truth, justice, obesity, a darkened studio, and late-night freedom. No United States of America freedoms were abridged in the making of this ad.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on shrmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk. The Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Go ahead, I'll say it.
Some of the best A-roll is going to be people.
Like, what are you talking about? The last question didn't really cut a couple seconds. Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Good point. Exactly right.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver Common Sense Show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and I'm with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ. No communists allowed on the SHR Media Network.
Damn straight, mister.
Back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome back to the Sackheads Radio Show live on the SHR Media Network. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Back a little bit late. We were just talking. Clint brought up at the break the Gulf of Cylinder incident in which two F-14s were on patrol near Libya, shot down two Libya MiGs. It's on YouTube.
It's awesome.
It's an old clip, but it's an awesome clip to listen to. And it's even more impressive if you think about during the time the stress that was on those pilots. Because look, Libya at the time was backed by Russia. We were in the middle of the Cold War. Like it was highly contended that we were there anyhow. I'm sorry, Clint.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm sorry. In 1981, two F-14s shot down two Libyan Su-22s.
Yep, Frogfoots.
And that was the first time the F-14 was tested in combat.
Yeah.
And then this incident was, when was that? The one, the 80...
Gulf of Cylindra?
Yeah.
I want to say it's 84.
So then they shoot down these two MiG-23s.
Yeah.
Well, and the F-14 is about as maneuverable as a dump truck anyway.
Well, but they had them before they were even off the ground. That was the best part about it. And if you listen to the pilots, the amount of stress that they must have gone, because they know this is going to be a humongous incident, right? They know this could uncork a shitload of hell. And they had no choice. And they kept trying to get off of them. They kept trying to go the other way. And you hear the pilot just calling it out. Kept jinking back into me, left 40 degrees, back into me again.
That's the fifth time.
And yeah, it is pretty awesome. And there's another great one. We were talking about it afterwards, and it's Major Brian Shaw. Is that what was that? That's his name, right?
Brian
BZ?
Shull, S-H-U-L.
And it's called the L.A. Speed Check story. And it's when he was flying with the SR-71. They were new to it. It was him and his Rio. And they were just building up team time. It's on YouTube. It's an amazing story. It's absolutely kills me. It's not at all combat related. It's literally just fun and flying. But it tells you like the sense of humor. I mean, this guy's in the fastest jet in the world. 60,000 feet or some ridiculous height. You know, the amount of responsibility that goes into it. And he's still cool enough to be like, you know, it'd be friggin' funny. And if you just listen to the story, it's pretty incredible. It's LA Speed Check. It's on YouTube. There's a couple different versions of him telling the story, but all of them are pretty funny. You mentioned North Korea and China. And you mentioned the South Koreans actually have, I believe, 2 ships that were involved in a refueling. And we talked about this last week, Russia has also been implicated in providing fuel to the North Koreans. Now, you mentioned earlier in the show the button conversation between Kim Jong-un and President Trump. And
which is awesome.
We laughed hysterically. But something major happened today. Amazingly. This is strange. After, 2+ years of the communication line between the North and the South being dead, with Kim Jong-un refusing to communicate with South Korea.
It's magic.
There was a 20-minute phone call placed today from the North to the South, reopening the lines of communication. It's so weird to me to think, and I've only seen this a few other times. Most recently, there was a president, I can't remember his name, it was like Reagan or something, in a little country called Prussia, where all of a sudden, when you got strong with them, they backed down. And all of a sudden, it changed the tone of this country who was really, really antagonistic and threatening nuclear war and all these other things, where all of a sudden now it's like, maybe when I don't think twice about it. I'm guessing, call me crazy.
Funny how that works out.
I am guessing that somebody close to Kim Jong-un, who hasn't been killed yet, finally got to him and said, we need to have a chat, kid. I know you think we can do all these things, and that's really adorable. Yeah, we may have that one missile that'll cook off. Maybe it won't. We're not 100%. I know we got a shit ton of people, but as we found out with the guy that crossed the border, he was full of tapeworms. He was mostly tapeworm. He was actually named Tapeworm. And the last guy that went over the border, they found the antibody for, I think it was mustard gas or anthrax. So that means they know that
anthrax.
They know that we have chemical weapons, and there's actually some leftist media, including Newsweek, who's saying that maybe a limited strike on North Korea might be a good idea. By the way, Newsweek put that out this week, saying that a limited strike on North Korea may not be a bad option. Newsweek put that out.
What?
Yeah. If you look it up, it's in Newsweek. A limited strike on North Korea may be a suitable option or something to that effect. I didn't have to read the whole story because I was blown away by it. But the reality is somebody may have gotten to him and said, "Hey, kid, here's the dollars to donuts. Yeah, we have a couple of million people.
Fuck, here it is.
They're 93 pounds soaking wet when they should be 185 pounds. We don't really have the air equipment to fight them. We don't really have the air defenses to fight them. Yeah, we have some Russian stuff, but we know we don't get the best shit from them. We may want to talk." Hello? What do you mean talk? We don't have to talk. I'm Kim Jong-un. That's adorable. Look, we're all going to fucking die. Like, flat, gone. Your chubby little ass will be blown halfway across the world. Like, this shit ain't going to happen, dude. And you were trying to play tough, and he pulled the trump card, literally.
Literally. Because his button is bigger, and it actually probably does work.
And actually, I heard that he just requisitioned an enormous black button to put onto his desk just because.
Dude, he needs to get a picture of himself with like a big easy button.
That was easy.
Like this.
Chunk. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I think
and tweet that out.
You're seeing the North Korea resolve, and now it's going to be interesting. China has gotten really quiet since it's come out that South Korea has arrested those ships or held those ships.
Oh, yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, they were throwing up the Americans should back off.
They don't want to play any reindeer games anymore.
Yeah, we don't want to do this. Well, maybe not.
Does North Korea even have an Air Force?
Yeah, it's a guy named Ted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I've pulled up another cool declassified gun camera footage if you want. It's from the June 18th of last year, June 18th, 2017, shoot down, the last air-to-air engagement. It was the F-18E when he shot down the Syrian Su-22.
Yes. There's
you
also
can check that out too, BZ.
There's also great footage of an F-16 pilot in the first Iraq invasion, I believe it was, dodging 5 SAMs. And if you haven't seen that one, that's absolutely freaking incredible. Absolutely freaking incredible. They were back to back to back to back to back. And he was fully defensive the entire... It was insane. And then, from what I understand, he went on to complete his mission after the fact. But, you know...
And then they named a video game after him.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things that North Korea is maybe starting to soften a little bit. And look, I'm glad.
I don't know if they are.
Maybe they're just trying to make it to the Olympics, right? Maybe it's just like, hey, we get 4 athletes. They're all in the luge, which is easy because I don't think you have to do much to get in the luge. You just have to lay in a sled, right? To qualify.
Yes.
And I think I don't remember which comedian it was, and it might have been Jerry Seinfeld, who's always talked about the luge, how it could be an involuntary Olympic sport because you could pull anyone off the street and throw them on the sled, and they'd still place. Like, second place. And I always laughed at that one because every time you watch the luge, I'm like, no, it makes sense. He's like, ooh, he pointed his toes. He's an amazing athlete. I think that you're starting to see North Korea realize that its options are more and more limited. And I think that, look, if that's what is happening, don't get me wrong. I absolutely agree that Kim Jong-un can go insane at any moment. Is insane. Let's rephrase. And these are more, instead of like moments of insanity, these are more like moments of uninsanity and calm and normal that may fleet tomorrow and they may close down again. We don't know. But the amount of defections that they're starting to have.
Defecations? Like they're starting to defecate their pants because Trump has a big button?
The amount of defections from North Korean soldiers.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand. So the soldiers are literally shitting themselves because
and then running
they're
over
scared.
the border. And then running over the border. But that has to tell you
defections
where that mindset was for a while within that country. And look, he's
Well,
releasing
there was that-
soldiers to go forage for
I was
food
just
to
gonna
prepare
say.
for war.
I was just gonna say.
You beat me to it. Get out of my head.
Go ahead.
Yeah, me too. No, I was gonna say. Yeah, they're giving him 2 to 3 months.
He beat me. He beat you.
Yep,
Yep.
2 to 3 months. Sean, you're absolutely right. They're giving 2 to 3 month leave so they can not get food, forage for food. Forage.
I see some little scrawny North Korean soldier going through weeds.
Yeah.
Going, food?
Yeah.
Food?
What are you? I'm a captain of the North Korean
Mushroom.
army. What are you doing right now?
Foraging for food?
Somebody said there was some mushrooms over here. Like, yeah, we're preparing for war. Really?
Really?
With what?
Because you can't feed your army.
Yeah. Maybe that's their plan, right? Maybe their plan is to instigate a war with the South and absolutely use all of the mortar fire and all their artillery to clean out Seoul and then go in and raid the food. Maybe they're just gigantic looters. Maybe they've seen videos from over here when things happen and all the looting that goes on. And
By the way,
that's not a bad idea.
I'm shocked at Newsweek.
Yes.
I had the article. You told me about it. I put it in chat.
I told him.
I put the link in chat.
I told you.
So people could
Can't
could
get
see
any
that.
fucking credit on this show.
It's. Did you do it? I did it.
I did it.
I did it.
I said it.
I did it first.
I said it was no. I said it. I was the one who pointed to the Newsweek article, and you gave it to Big Nose.
Oh, look at me! I'm
then
Sean.
who-
I have
who
to be
put it in
important.
chat?
I'm
Who
so
put it in chat?
I'm so warm right now.
I
But
was
I'm
giving
gonna
you-
pretend I'm cold.
I was
look,
giving
he's
you
not
credit.
giving me any credit here.
I know, I was giving you
said
credit,
that
but I was the one
took
who brought up the article.
After you told me what the article
No, but
was.
you said
and
him.
then I went to go
You
find
pointed
the
to him.
article. Did I not go find the article? Yes, I did. And
Just
folks
saying,
in
you
chat,
pointed
who
to
was
him.
it, by the way, if you go back up and then scroll.
I
Who
never
was it that actually
ever
put it
once.
in chat?
I never once
It
said you
must have
didn't.
been. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I made a huge
Listen,
mistake.
you old fuck.
It wasn't BZ. It was Sean. Okay, you're right. It was
No.
Oh, no. I freely admit. You're correct.
So what I was saying was, you're muted.
I don't even know why I'm here. I'm just occupying
Why am
a
I
chair.
here?
I happened to be walking down the street and someone said, "Hey, we need an old fat guy."
Actually,
You
that's,
know what we need right now?
That was literally the discussion we had.
You know what we need? We need a screen right now that goes back technical difficulties. Goes.
I always love I forget what show it is, but there's a show that uses that all the time, but it's always something bizarre for the technical difficulties. Like the first one, it's like a train that's like off the track and it's the conductor like this, and then the second one, it's like the train like running through a small village and the conductor's still like this. Like it just keeps getting progressively worse and the conductor's still like that. It's awesome. BZ, all I was saying, young man.
By the way, there is actually from television a sorry we are experiencing technical difficulties graphic.
Yes.
We need that. We need that for arguments because that just needs to go up on the screen. And then the argument keeps going on in the background.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Like, that would be amazing.
So what do you
by
think
the way,
about the Newsweek article, seriously? Is this that's a pretty leftist column for it to be a pretty major shift?
here's what I think.
No, that's
I think
no good.
news.
It's the one. It's either the one on the far right or the one on the far left.
I'm working on it.
Why would we use the one on the far left? This is a Sackheads radio
that's a good
show,
point.
BZ.
And by
we
the
don't do
way,
anything on the far
Clint,
left.
thank you for putting in chat the graphic because I see it's in there, and thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Fucking
technology.
And people say that you can. Yes, you are much more fast
Under
with
attack.
technology. Under attack.
Why is there an Indian head on there? Are you kidding me right now?
Nobody else can see this yet, so stop.
Really?
Stop.
You got to be kidding me. If you have that, I'm getting an arrow, like an arrow sound effect, like a.
I told you guys, talk amongst yourselves.
Farmers markets are racially biased.
And why do you think
Everyone
so,
knew
sir?
that.
And they are a cause for environmental gentrification.
Okay.
This is two California professors from San Diego State University.
Oh, God.
They say that farmers markets are racially biased.
Why wouldn't they be?
Right. Because environmental improvements lead to the displacement of long-term residents.
Oh, God. Keep going.
They're exclusionary because locals cannot afford the food and or feel excluded from these new spaces. Because
Space.
if
It's a
you
space. It's another
if you have a farmer's market and it's in a lower income area, it brings higher income folks into that lower income area, and they feel bad because they can't afford the food that's outside in this farmer's market that these rich people can. And now you have these rich people that are invading their space, and they're going to be pushed out. And it's the geography of food and food justice that therefore they become white spaces where food consumption habits of white people are normalized. Quote unquote, by the way.
No, that's absolutely.
No, that was a quote.
No.
Hang on, let me read you the quote.
I completely trust you.
Quote, farmers markets are often white spaces where the food consumption habits of white people are normalized.
Well, everyone knows
The most
that.
insidious part of this gentrification process is that alternative food initiatives work against the community activists and residents who first mobilized to fight environmental injustices and provide these amenities, but have significantly less political and economic clout than developers and real estate professionals.
Are you absolutely kidding me
I
right
am.
now?
I shit you not.
You guys want to hear a funny story?
Wait. I do want to talk about this for a second because I think this is absolutely out of control.
Piece of string walks into a bar.
Okay.
Walks up and orders a drink. Bartender says, "I'm sorry, we don't serve string here."
Okay.
String walks out of the bar.
Right.
Gets itself all kind of twisted up and stuff. Kind of cuts the ends, messes it up, messes up his hair. Walks back into the bar. Orders a drink. Bartender says, "Hey, aren't you that string I just kicked out of here?"
Afraid not.
Says, "I'm afraid not."
That's not funny.
My 9-year-old tells that joke, and it is hilarious.
How is that not hilarious?
If you hear a 9-year-old tell a "so something walks into a bar" joke,
you gotta stop and listen to that.
he likes
shit.
this one too. Three-legged dog walks into a bar. Said, "Hey, who shot my paw?"
Jesus.
Well, it's like
One more, folks. You know how to catch a polar bear? Because we're in winter, and for folks on the East Coast, this may come in handy.
Right.
Know how to catch a polar bear?
How?
Polar bears love frozen peas. Did you know this, BZ?
No.
So what you do is you walk out onto the ice. You cut a hole
Okay.
in the ice, and you line that hole with frozen peas all the way around it. Then, when the polar bear goes to take a pee, you kick him in the ice hole.
You want to hear a funny story?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Is it about a polar bear?
No.
Oh.
Okay, a Danish man is in critical condition after a champagne bottle he held between his legs exploded in his crotch on New Year's Eve, according to a report on Tuesday.
Why
Danish
not?
man,
Like a guy who bakes pastries?
yes,
Like a Danish man?
pastry baker
Okay.
was put in an induced coma after a champagne bottle exploded. A shard of glass cut through an artery in his leg, causing significant blood loss, reported the Daily Mail. The man is currently in one of Denmark's largest hospitals, called the Copenhagen Rigshospitalet, and remains in critical condition.
Oh, my God.
He's in
Why is
New
that
Year's
funny? That's not
Eve,
funny.
He's in critical condition. While doctors warn about champagne injuries during the holiday season, most are caused by the champagne cork, not the glass bottle.
Wow.
A study done in 2011
Who studied
by
that?
Morrison's found that 900,000 people in England have suffered champagne-related injuries, reported the Huffington Post, and now the DSM-6 will have PTSD for champagne corks. I'm
Well,
sure you can bank on it.
Listen, hang on. The injuries in Great Britain does not surprise me because obviously those corks hit people in the mouth all the time over there.
Well, and
because their dental is horrible.
Well, the problem is they also don't soak their
you're
corks.
right.
Yeah, if you're a cork soaker over there,
Yeah.
You're in deep trouble.
You're in deep trouble.
Yeah.
If you're
Deep
a
kimchi.
cork soaker, you can. Was Bill Clinton a cork soaker before?
I think he soaked a few corks back in his day.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. That was unconfirmed
No,
report.
I mean-
Hillary Clinton definitely, I think, was a cork soaker.
From what I've heard.
Right.
I don't know though. I
Has
can't.
she changed her ways?
She might. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she did some time with like some fish sticks. What?
Fish sticks. Mom
Do
used
they
to
really
serve-
have those?
Mom used to serve fish sticks. Mom, you
Do you
couldn't-
like fish sticks?
No, I hate them. Because
You don't put fish sticks in your mouth?
Because
Like all over your face, fish sticks?
not fish sticks. Hey, what happened to your
Sean,
your
the look
area?
on your face is so classic right now.
And I'm trying to work.
I know. Stop
You're
it.
doing the Lord's work over there, and
Yeah.
you're just prattling on.
I know.
That is great, by the way. Put it up. Let's get into an argument. Put it up.
Oh, I'm trying. Hold on. Okay. Go ahead. We're good. Go ahead.
What is that?
Talk amongst
Technical
yourselves. No, relax.
difficulties,
We're
stand
okay. Let me try this here. Let me see how this works.
Go.
Oh, yeah.
Under attack.
I don't know about the Indian head, though.
Oh, enough with you and the Indian head. Move on.
Right?
.org.
How racial. That's racially insensitive of you.
Holy moly.
Farmers markets, what do you think? Are they racist? Yes or no?
No.
I need to go, no go for launch.
No,
Sean?
this is ridiculous.
No,
This is absolutely
BZ.
stupid.
Beyond stupid.
Yeah, beyond stupid. But these were two fucking professors at San
which,
Diego State University.
If they're professors, you have to listen to them. They have automatic credence.
Can you
in
have
the state of
automatic? I thought automatic credences were illegal. Because automatic.
no,
are they assault credences?
Yeah, but in California they are.
In
They
California,
definitely
they're
are.
illegal, right? You can't have assault credence or automatic
You
anything.
can't have the credence buttons anymore.
Why is it in California you can have an automatic transmission, but you can't have an automatic weapon?
They're the same thing.
Right? Actually, I would argue that automatic vehicles kill more people than
hell
automatic
yes.
weapons.
Oh, yeah, that's,
Automatic transmissions
absolutely.
are responsible for at least one Vietnam per year. 58,000 people died in Vietnam. You're killing roughly 58,000 people per year because of, Clint,
automatic transmissions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, and they essentially have scopes on them, right?
Yes.
Right through the front window.
Yes.
You aim, and if it has anything that sticks up in the middle of the hood,
yes,
that's an
And-
aiming device.
sight alignment.
And to be
All you're
clear,
doing is making
oh yeah,
a
a hood ornament.
You're adjusting
That's
a
a
sight
front sight
picture.
post.
Yeah, that is absolutely.
Right. And look, here's
It comes with a forward grip. That's
Yep.
how you drive it.
Yep, it is, and it's fully automatic.
It is fully automatic.
It is a fully automatic
And
transmission.
what do they say all the time? They say front sight, front sight, front sight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, I don't know. I've
And
never.
I
don't know.
absolutely
I don't know.
guarantee you, I could mount a bayonet to the front of any car.
Yeah, it's called a license plate.
Yes.
Have you ever backed up over a curb and had that thing ripped out?
It's a
and there's
bayonet.
a place to mount it.
Right.
Right.
And
there's your lug.
And you can easily transform it into any manual transmission.
Hey, you know what? And if your tank holds more than 10 gallons, that's a high capacity. That is a high capacity.
That's a high cap tank.
tank. Yep, you were in a fully automatic,
I think
high
cap
capacity
tanks should
automobile.
be outlawed in California.
I agree.
Don't give them any
Have
fucking
we
ideas.
just not-
Don't give them any fucking
Hey,
ideas.
state of California, if you're listening, it's ridiculous that we're allowed to have more than 10 gallons of gasoline in our tank. I think you should limit pumps to 10 gallons.
Why are you
it
doing
should
this
take
right
at
1
least-
gallon per bullet.
What is wrong
You know
with
what? Take us down to 7 gallons. We don't need to drive that
Seriously,
much.
why
Public
would you even-
transportation is
why
available,
would you even
Sean.
give them? Look, they already want to go
And
to
get
this
a tax
pay per
credit.
mileage bullshit that they want to get to.
The 80-year-old people's in their wheelchairs and walkers, screw them.
Yeah.
You know, kick that walker from underneath me, for example, and I'm not crap.
Hey,
okay?
hey, you know what?
I
It's
should
very
have to walk.
We're very Cass Sunstein here. If we don't want people driving big SUVs with large capacity tanks. We don't need high cap tanks here.
Mama
okay?
Cass was his daughter,
So
wasn't she? I think.
so if we limit the amount of gas you could buy, people will no longer buy high capacity tanks in this state.
Listen,
They will have to retrofit all SUVs and trucks.
when high cap tanks are outlawed, only outlaws will have high cap tanks.
That is absolutely true. Sean, I don't see what's wrong with any of this logic.
No.
I hate my life right now.
And you know what?
It's because we're making sense.
Hang on a second. Who needs a diesel? That's like a 50 cal.
Dude, here's the problem with all of this, right? You're being facetious. You're being facetious.
What?
Ha 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 ha. Look how fucking funny we are. Right now.
There's a bill being written.
Someone in the fucking California State House is like, holy shit.
That's fucking brilliant.
This is going to get me elected for the next 50 fucking
We're calling
years.
this the Sackhead Bill.
This is ridiculous. How have we not had this?
Dude, think how famous we're going to be. We're going to be all at the signing. It's going to be, well, State of California would like to thank Sackhead Sean, Sackhead Clint, Sackhead BZ for this brilliant piece of legislation. Without you and your listenership and your outstanding efforts to make this state a better place. This never would have been passed. You guys had a brilliant idea, and we think you're now the official radio station of the state of California.
I bought my 2018 calendar, by the way. Here's what my 2018 calendar looks like.
Justin Trudeau, my Canadian boyfriend.
So I just thought that, if you guys thought that it's good to have confidence in old BZ, it's time for a break, isn't it?
Oh, God.
Hey, you know what? Why do we need high-capacity cupboards? Obviously, there's food problems here, as these professors say. Why do we need high-capacity cupboards?
We'll be right back here on the Sackheads Radio
10
Show.
cans of corn, Sean. No more Costco. Exactly. We need to outlaw high-capacity stores.
Hell yeah.
High-capacity stores,
Done
right?
Has got to be
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American maggots won't. BZ is fundamentally changing America one diaper at a time. Just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, where the speech is free, but the drinks are not. The Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night, commencing at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, where pushback is a requisite art form in and of itself. Let your ossicles be truly liberated when you listen to the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, only on SHR Media Network. No ferrets were harmed in the making of this ad.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through SHRmedia.com, HighPlainsTalkRadio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on BlogTalkRadio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver Common Sense Show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on SHRmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk. The Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Go ahead, I'll say it again.
Some of the best A-roll is going to be B-roll.
Like, what are you talking about? We can just
The last question that you cut a couple seconds.
Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Good point. Exactly right.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and I'm with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ. No communists allowed on the SHR Media Network.
Damn straight, mister.
Back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And we're back on the Sackheads Radio Show.
What?
No. It got
Sean
worse.
had a brilliant idea.
Oh, shit.
So hang on a second. So it started, the conversation continued.
Ma, I'm sorry. It's going to end up this way for me.
The conversation continued. And I said, you know what? The state of California should track gasoline purchase like they do ephedrine. If you buy regular old school Sudafed or pseudoephedrine based product, the state of California will scan your driver's license and they keep track of how much pseudoephedrine products you purchase and cold medication you purchase. Because they don't want you manufacturing methamphetamine. Because everybody who goes to manufacture methamphetamine buys one box of cold medicine.
Always happens that way.
Always, every time.
One at a time.
One at a time.
Solving it one box at a time.
So I said, you know what? That'd be great. They could do that with gasoline also, right? 10-gallon limit on your tanks. And to prevent those smart asses from going gas station to gas station, every time you purchase gas, you have to scan your license. And you're only able to purchase 10 gallons a day, because you really don't need to go longer than that, right? That's just ridiculous.
This hurts so bad.
Then Sean had an even more brilliant idea. He said, or was it you, BZ?
No, it was me.
Who said they should scale it like PG&E? Was that you or was that Sean?
No, that was me. So what?
So
Wait.
Let's talk. You go, Sean. No, because this was a great idea. For people that don't know,
and I don't know other electrical companies that does this, Pacific Gas and Electric, which is one of the only few options you have for gas and electricity.
Oh, there's no monopolies out here.
You have SMUD, but that's it.
There's no monopolies.
There's
monopolies
a few
are
other
illegal.
places, but either way, Pacific Gas and Electric, if you use over a certain amount of electricity each month, they have a tier program, so that next set of kilowatts that you use is twice as expensive and then 3 times expensive. It's their way of nudging you to use less electricity.
And shouldn't you? Yes, you should be using less fuel.
Yes,
right?
and Sean had the brilliant idea of just tiering it.
So
the
they
first
would
tank
register
you
how much
purchase-
gas, like ammunition now in California. You need an ID. They register how much ammunition you buy.
Yeah.
They're going to do that with gasoline. Every 10 gallons, when you go into the gas station, if it's within a certain allotted time, you swipe your license. They will say thank you. They will log. It will automatically go into the state registry.
Right.
And the next time you go to the gas station, if you're within that week, month, whatever, it will tier to the second level, and gas will now go up in price for those specific 10 gallons. But it will not go to the evil gas companies. The excess amount will go to the state as a penalty for using too much greenhouse gas. Then you'll go to the third tier and fourth tier, etc. Now, before every truck driver, person who has to commute for a living, whatever, says, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you even suggest this? I asked the same question to Clint a little while ago.
You're the one that came up with the tier program.
We've talked about this on the show numerous times.
Thank you.
Hold on a second. Before we go off on a stupid tangent, I want to make a serious point. We've talked about this on the show several times. California is the liberal petri dish in which all of the germs that it creates and permeates our society is often tested, incubated, and set forth.
Yes.
They want to match Oregon with the whole pay per mile on the roadway thing, which they would do in conjunction with the gasoline. But what I wanted to point out, and what Clint pointed out brilliantly, is the insanity, what sounds to be crazy, what sounds to be absolutely ludicrous.
Yes, because we say this as a complete fucking joke.
Right.
Except
somebody somewhere will go, that's a good idea.
That's a brilliant idea.
I know how I'm going to be the next senator from
Why
California.
did we not think of this?
You know how I'm going to be the next senator from California? I'm going to propose this bill, pass it, and then everybody in the state that loves the green side is going to vote for me.
Yep.
And I will be the next senator. And because I have a state vehicle, I will be exempt from any gas law, just like I'm exempt from every other law in the state of California, so it won't fucking affect me. Or because I'm an elected official, I will have the easy swipe pass, and I can use as much gas because I need to go see my constituents. I need to drive back and forth as much as possible.
Hey, I'm doing the people's work.
So there's no limit on how many miles I can drive.
Right.
But there's an absolute limit how many miles the peons can drive. You made, before we went to the break, you made a great analogy with gas and automatic weapons and the lunacy.
Yes.
However, what people forget is weapons in the day in this country were not considered to be lunacy to own or want to own or support the Second Amendment. The left has punished us severely and made it so horrific that now to say you simply want to own weapons, you're some sort of anti-government lunatic.
Yes.
And the environmentalists jump on board with this shit all the time. The ridiculous rules and laws they come up with.
Oh, yeah.
And especially in California.
Yeah. Look, so here's the thing. We were being completely smart, like totally smart. But some jackass somewhere in this state thinks that is a fucking brilliant idea.
What I said was,
yes.
Somebody will listen to this show and they'll send an email or a message or a text to somebody else. It'll go to somebody else. They'll get it in an email or a text. Somebody will listen to it and say, hey, this is really weird. Then somehow it'll get to somebody in the state of California who will go back and listen to it and say, I could make a career on this.
Or they'd say,
and they will.
Or they'd say, they'll listen to just that segment and they'll say, oh my God, these guys are brilliant.
Yes.
And then they'll invite us to speak to some school somewhere and we'll show up to speak and then they'll realize we're actually conservatives and they'll shit themselves.
Well, this will be one of those things where they will only play a certain segment of the show. They will only play this 1 10-minute snippet.
You know what's going to be tough?
And I may beat them to it. I may edit this 10 minutes and post it separately.
This 10-gallon thing is really going to hurt the airline industry.
Well, yeah, because they're only going to be able to go from like
down the runway.
Yeah, quarter of the runway, gas. Quarter of the runway, gas.
10 gallons. They start up the number 1, number 2 engine, then they shut them down.
Well,
yes.
Honestly, so let's look at how that would affect the airline industry.
Aircraft could come in and land, but they'd never be able to take back off.
We know what California does to business and tourism. They destroy it left and right.
Yes.
They do everything they can to force businesses out of the state through high taxation.
No, they want to attract businesses.
Can you imagine if airlines started pulling out? They're like, yeah, we're just not going to fly to California anymore. We'll go to Reno. We'll go to Vegas. You can walk, bus, use a vehicle that's just going on your self-sense of worth. I don't know how you're going to fucking get there, but we're not going any further.
Yeah.
And liberals in the state would still be okay with that, but we're saving the environment.
We got 18 more minutes, and since we're kind of on that topic, I want to tell you about this story.
Yes.
This is the stuff we're talking about just now is like, okay, pie in the sky, could happen, maybe not. And here's one from Seattle Times. Now, that should give you a big clue as to what's coming. SeattleTimes.com. Washington State Attorney General sues Motel 6 over giving ICE info on 9,000 guests.
What? Who sued him?
What?
Attorney General Bob Ferguson said Motel 6's actions are disturbing and they are unlawful, saying the motel diverged to immigration and customs enforcement information about more than 9,000 guests in Washington.
And the Attorney General's bringing suit?
To Motel 6, yeah. So
what are they alleging? Well, what's the violation?
They are alleging the national budget chain disclosed the private information of thousands of its guests to U.S. immigration authorities in violation of the state consumer protection law.
No.
The AG said motel employees divulged the names, birth dates, driver's license numbers, license plate numbers, and room numbers of at least 9,150 guests to ICE enforcement agents without a warrant. At least 6 people were detained on or near motel property during a 2-year period. 6 people were inconvenienced.
Wait. When you say inconvenienced,
they were detained.
Yes. So they were inconvenienced by a legal procedure that was conducted by the federal agency that's supposed
Washington is a sanctuary
to... Does not fucking matter.
Is it officially a sanctuary state?
They have said so, yes.
And you know what's fucked up is that Washington will get that lawsuit upheld because it'll go to the Ninth Circuit.
And
that's a given.
But then Motel 6 is going to appeal.
Of course, as they should.
And it'll go across the country. But what you won't hear is the outcome of that case. What you will hear is Motel 6 smeared ridiculously by the leftist media.
I do have a feel-good piece of
Send
news.
it, sir.
Former campaign manager for Donald Trump, Manafort, suing
Yes.
Mueller and Rosenstein and claiming that the Russia probe has gone too far. They also say that because the Attorney General was given such broad scope, where it says any matters that arose or may arise from this investigation. Manafort's team that's bringing this lawsuit says that the Deputy Attorney General went beyond his authority to appoint a special counsel, as well as specific restrictions on the scope of such appointments. So what he's saying is that when he said when the deputy director said any matters that arise or may arise, that's far too broad, and that because there are specific restrictions on scopes in these matters, he exceeded that. Therefore, everything should go away. And that lawsuit was filed.
Well, let's look at the reality. So the special counsel is supposed to be a very specific investigation on a very specific incident and matters pertaining to that incident. Unless outright and overt illegal activity is discovered, which then their duty binds them to notify other agencies to continue that investigation. However, the scope that they were given was carte blanche. It was actually, in my opinion, I think it violated the Fourth Amendment rights of a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Because now you don't need any sort of probable cause or reasonable suspicion. You don't even need any sort of initial inquiry. You're just going and collecting. The burden did not fall onto the state. In this case, the burden did not exist. The burden was removed from the state.
Yep.
And before everyone goes running out and be like, well, they knew that they got into blah, 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 this, that, and the other, they're still citizens. They still have a Fourth Amendment right. They still have a right that the Constitution protects them under. Now, I love how in this case, everybody was okay with, the left was okay with everyone, with him going insane and doing this and doing that. But a year and a half ago, when we were asking for the FBI to follow credible intelligence and evidence to go after the Clinton. How dare you? Oh, the nerve of you people.
That was yesterday.
Leave Britney alone.
That occurred yesterday, so that's no longer relevant.
Right.
I mean, if you want to prosecute somebody, it has to be something. If you're a Democrat or a leftist or part of the American media mag, it has to have occurred today. Yesterday, not fair game.
Yeah.
Gone, done.
For us. Not fair game for us, but fair game for you. Right? We'll go after Trump.
Right.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right.
Listen, he's
But
worse.
here's the great part. They haven't found shit. And Trump knows it. Trump knows I think he did nothing wrong. And so he's like, I'm not going to fire. Why would I fire Mueller?
Right. And that's exactly, and I've talked about this a couple times, because when you know there's nothing for him to dig up, like I said, he should do a weekly talk show where he brings Mueller in and essentially shames him.
Yeah.
Well, Mueller, hey, look, what do you got for us this week? What's so big in the Russia investigation? Am I going to jail yet? Son of a bitch, I'm not. See you next week, fucker.
Yeah.
You're still on the payroll because you're a jester at this point. It's a joke. How long is this special counsel going to be allowed to run for? We're up to what? 8 months? 7 months?
Longer than that, right?
It was said that they anticipate easily this going on for the entire rest of the year. But I said this last year, and I think you said it, and I think you said it, and that's this. Everything leaks like a fucking sieve. And if there were a shred, a morsel of dainty, buttery goodness,
it'd be all over the place.
In terms of, oh, we got you now. All it would take is one phone call to the New York Times. It could be completely anonymous.
It would be a flash. It doesn't matter what time of the night.
They'd print
Don
it.
Lemon would be on CNN. Mueller, blah, just vomiting it out as much as he possibly. Collusion, blah, 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 blah. It'd be all over the place. There would be so much word vomit, you could smell it in the room.
Yep.
Because they can't wait to get in front of a news camera and be like, ha, smoking gun.
Well, that's all
We
it took for
fucking
Comey.
got him.
That's all it took was one anonymous source, the third party.
Yes.
In terms of that's how we got the Mueller investigation, and on an anonymous source of an alleged document that the reporter did not even see with his eyes, they went with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was all that was.
Yep.
That's all it took.
And that's all it does take.
The special prosecutor, Robert Mueller.
Well,
now,
and Trump.
There he goes.
I think Trump knows that even if charges are brought, all he has to do is say these charges are bogus and everything is made up. Because look, here is a member of the Justice Department. Here is a member of the FBI saying that they have safeguards they can ensure against my presidency. What is it you think they're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, it's.
Where did this evidence come from? I never sent that email. I never approved this. I mean. They're so fucked at this point. They really are.
It's so even more elementary, better than that.
My
because
dear Watson.
3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, the attorney for Michael Flynn, probably a month now, the attorney for Michael Flynn was doing handstands when we found out that Peter Strzok on Mueller's team was corresponding with his wench and saying that I'm just going to walk right into Andy's office
Yes.
and we're going to take some pre-election
Yes.
shots
Yes.
at Donald Trump.
Yes.
And Flynn's lawyer said, well, there's my appeal right there.
Right.
Plus all the
Yep.
people that contributed
Jaded.
on Mueller's team to the Democrat Party, there is not one Republican on, and D.C. has more attorneys
Then
drenched
Carter has pills.
than fleas on a horde of dogs, and you're telling me that you couldn't find, in all this place is festooned with attorneys, you couldn't find one Republican attorney to put on Mueller's team. Bullshit.
Right.
That's an instant appeal just for Flynn. Now, oh my God, magnify that times 1,000 if you decide that you're going to go for Trump. And now, even worse in Mueller's world, he's got Manafort publicly saying that you're full of crap. And by the way, I'm going to sue you.
I think I'll tell you right now, I think somewhere in Trump's team, they're like, no, bring fake charges.
God.
We would love this. Make the witch hunt come true. Try to go with ridiculous charges. You try to get yourself something against this president, and then when you get blown out of the water, watch how quick you've rallied his base for his reelection.
This news just came in. Trump's lawyer is threatening imminent legal action against Steve Bannon.
Wow!
And gives him 24 hours to cease and desist.
Oh, we have 8 minutes left. That's oh my God, what a topic that is.
So basically the letter says, quote, you've breached the agreement by, among other things, so I guess there was a non-disclosure agreement when he came to work for his campaign for Trump.
Is it Jay Sekulow bringing that, does it say?
I don't know who's bringing it. Trump's attorney, whatever. It says you've breached the agreement by, among other things, communicating with author Michael Wolff about Mr. Trump, his family members, and the company, the Trump campaign, disclosing confidential information to Mr. Wolff and making disparaging statements and, in some cases, outright defamatory statements to Mr. Wolff about Mr. Trump, his family members. Charles Harder. The letter adds that Bannon's actions give rise to, quote, numerous legal claims, including defamation by libel and slander and breach of his written confidentiality and non-disparagement agreement with our clients. Legal action is imminent.
By the way, I want to weigh in on this whole Bannon-Trump thing. I think this is absolutely brilliant politics.
Yep.
Because now, anytime Bannon says anything positive about the president, he can be like, whoa, wait a minute. I almost got sued over this shit. I'm no longer on the same team as him. But what he's doing right here, that's kind of hard to argue with.
Who's doing?
No. That's what he can say. Doesn't matter what he's talking about, right? Anytime Bannon is critical of the president, they'll bring this up. Okay, fine. Anytime he's supportive of anything the president says or done whatsoever, he can now say, well, wait a minute. Look, he and I got into it. Look at this lawsuit thing. But I still can't argue that what he's trying to do here is a good thing, because it's a good thing. I think that this may be a little bit more political showmanship than anyone's given it credit for.
On Trump's part or on Bannon's
both
part?
of theirs?
With this exception, this just came out from the Hill. Bannon loses support of pro-Trump billionaire backer over media fights. Former White House chief strategist Stephen Bannon has reportedly lost the support of billionaire backer Rebecca Mercer after he suggested he might run for president himself. A person close to Mercer told the Washington Post she no longer supports Bannon.
Yeah, Bannon's done, and I think it's a brilliant move politically for Trump.
Oh yeah,
because Bannon is pissed off he got fired.
You just victimized Trump.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
If Bannon is a brilliant strategist, I'd hate to see what a poor strategist looks like.
Yeah. And Bannon's a fool to come at him like this.
Well, and the other thing is, oh my God, it's a book. It's in print, thousands and thousands of copies. You can't refute anything that's there. It's in the book.
I think this is some political showmanship here.
Hell?
Yeah,
I still think that there's some political showmanship going on here.
Here's what it's from. Bannon got pissed off.
Yes.
Wrote a book. Had this guy, Michael, whatever the hell his
Michael
name
Wolff.
is, come in, write the book. Ghost wrote the book, and now it's out. And now that this happened, Bannon, right now, if he's not in bed, if he's still awake, Bannon is going, what the fuck did I do?
Yes, he is.
Maybe.
Well, Sean, then,
I
tell me
think he is.
how this supports or buttresses Bannon's world, so to speak.
Right. So
I think he was hoping for, he colluded with Russia.
No,
I
I don't think any of that at all.
But
I don't think any of that.
Oh,
at
you know
all.
the left is going to point to that section of the book. Come on.
They can point to whatever they want.
They're already doing it.
But I think what
course.
happens is Bannon becomes the frenemy. He looks like an enemy on the surface. I think he's still supportive. I think that there's just a lot of political showmanship in this.
But what does Trump gain by having him out here and doing this?
Because there would be a lot of
Trump
people in this
gains.
country.
Trump does gain from this.
Yes.
Bannon doesn't gain, but Trump gains.
But Bannon doesn't necessarily
Trump gains
lose
from sending
either,
the letter.
Because
I don't think Trump gains from all this stuff that Bannon's bringing out.
But I don't think Bannon loses all that much because, millionaire backer, he's got money. He's not worried about
Billionaire
money.
backer.
Billionaire backer. He's still not worried about money. Bannon has the Bannon people, and if you follow social media, there are people who are Bannon people and will be Bannon people forever. But one of the things that Bannon does better than a lot of other people, and he really pushed this whole citizens getting involved in the journalism and fighting big media and all this other stuff. Don't forget where he came from. Don't forget who he learned under. I'm just saying, I don't necessarily think that this was out of a plan or in a plan. I just think that there's more to this than that meets the eye because
He's a transformer.
Both of them are very, very sharp, and both of them usually think a couple steps ahead. And I can't imagine that he did not think a few steps ahead. Look,
I think he was blinded. I think he was pissed off to the highest level of passivity.
I think
he made an error.
For Bannon, that's all a motive.
I really do. I agree with you, BC.
And the problem is now, what you've done with Steve Bannon, you had a whole cadre of people that decided, okay, when he left Trump, we're going Bannon over here.
Mm-hmm.
And so then now you've got the people that, as far as they're concerned, Trump supporters said, Bannon, you just shot Trump in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was a Trump supporter before, oh my God, am I ever a Trump supporter now? Because we had this guy turn on him.
And not only that, I think there's Bannon supporters that this came out that are now like, yeah, dude, that's a little much.
Now, in chat, Dave Milner said, yeah, you better check and see what Carrie Baxter Donovan thinks about this, because she's been on my show a bunch of times, and she is a massive Bannon supporter. And I sent her a tweet earlier, and I said, I don't get this. And she said, just wait.
And that's where I'm at with this. Look, Bannon was a Trump guy from the beginning, and Bannon's very, very close to Trump.
He was.
Well, but so hear me out. You think 4 years from now, for Steve Bannon, any of this is going to matter? This is all going to be water under the bridge.
Yeah, I think for both of them it will be.
But short-term gain, as far as rallying the Trump supporters again, which you want to do it regularly through your presidency, right? You don't want to ever distance yourself. So you want to keep people energized, especially if you're looking at a re-election. Hey, Steve, fall on a sword. You're going to be fine. Think about what you're doing. And if he's a real big believer in what Trump's goal is, which he is, or he was, I can't imagine he's not smart enough, based on everything that he's done with Breitbart, all of these other things, to not have 8 moves planned out ahead, knowing, I'll be the bad guy for a few years. I'm already the bad guy. People already fucking hate me.
Okay, so you're saying that this is Bannon taking one for the team?
I think
in order to rally support?
I think Bannon's taken a couple for the team. I think he's played the bad guy a few times.
To buttress support for Trump?
Yes.
To make Trump look like a victim?
Yes.
That's dense. That's really dense.
I think it is. I think that Bannon fucked up. I think Bannon got emotional.
That's Machiavellian.
I think that's stupid. I think Bannon. At least Machiavelli was a little smart at times. I think Bannon got pissed. I think Bannon fucked up. I think Bannon's going to realize he fucked up, and I think it's going to be spun to where, oh no, we were in this together, maybe, or oh yeah, I wanted Trump to have support, or oh yeah, now I realize the error of my ways and I support Trump again. I really don't think that's the case at heart right now. I think that Bannon is just too emotional of a figure.
Concur. I think Bannon this was an emotive reaction.
Yeah.
Well,
to
we'll see.
his being let go.
I don't think we'll see though. I don't think we'll ever really know because 8-9 months from now he could realize he fucked up and oh shit, now how do we spin this and how do I come back into the fold?
Right.
I think legitimately he fucked up and I think there's no way we'll ever know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because the story may actually be spun your direction at some point.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't think that's the case.
I'm just saying really, really, just from watching Bannon through all of these years, I don't think he's that stupid, even if he is getting emotional.
He's emotional. How many smart people do you know have emotional responses that end up sinking themselves?
I'm not,
career-wise
I'm not
or
saying that
else.
doesn't happen. I'm just saying he's a tactician when it comes to this stuff. So we'll see. Folks, that's it for the Sackheads Radio Show live on the SHR Media Network. We'll be back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 on the East Coast, right here on the SHR Media Network. Make sure you check us out.
Thomas.
Hold on. Wait till you check us out on Facebook, Twitter, all the other social media that you have. Make sure you check out all the other amazing shows right here on the SHR Media Network. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., you have the Bloviating Zeppelin. BZ, who do you have on, sir?
I've got Alan Thomas, formerly of Paranormal Central. He's a Sasquatch hunter, researcher, an examiner, and he did
all he has to do is look for Sean.
I was going to say, don't bring him in here.
Yeah.
Jeez. And if you do, give me warning.
He's going to take a picture of you, Sean.
I'm like, shit, there he is. Found him.
He was
Thanks,
gone
BZ.
last time, and he didn't appear on the show. And I was a little upset, Alan Thomas, until I realized, and when he got back and told me, I'm sorry, I had a heart attack.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, there's no cell phones in the hospital?
So that'll be tomorrow night right here on the SHR Media Network. We will see you next week.
That's funny.
The best late-night conservative talk show in America, Sackheads Radio. And listen, there are no people better on the air to give you the best in conservative talk than Sackhead Sean and Sackhead Clint. And we're working on the immigration papers for a certain other guy who happens to work here, too. For those who are tuning in around the world to the best late-night conservative talk, Sackheads Radio.
Sackheads
Radio.
Sackheads
Radio.
The best late-night conservative talk show in America. In America.
And in this web was a large, I'm pretty sure it was the biggest spider I've ever seen.
Hell no, to the no, no, no.